Welcome. If you are watching this series, you are probably already at least a little familiar with the incredible events that took place on October 13th, 1917 in Fatima, Portugal. For those of you who are not, here's a brief introduction. At noon on October 13th, 1917, a crowd of 70,000 people witnessed an event so shocking, news of it spread across the world like lightning. This event was so incredible, it has cemented itself as one of, if not the most credible example of a modern miracle known to man. How did this happen? Why was Fatima, Portugal chosen to be the location of such an incredible event? Central to this miracle were the three Fatima seers, Lucia, Francesco, and Jacinta. Their stories have been told many times and heard by millions of believers. However, their stories are only a part of this astonishing event. There were thousands of secret witnesses to the Fatima miracle, each of whose eyewitness reports explain some of the events surrounding this great miracle. Come with me now as we explore this great mystery and meet the secret witnesses of Fatima. Throughout this series, we have explored the testimonies of many secret witnesses. We've heard the story of the miracle of the sun through the eyes of them all. Today, you will meet two of the witnesses who are no more than 10 feet away from the three children of Fatima, and you will hear the very words and testimony of Lucia herself. One of the two who were close enough to hear the children was Jose Joaquim de Silva. During his interview, Jose recounts that on that day it was raining, that there was a great deal of mud, and that he was soaked. He saw the children kneeling in front of the tree, staring at someone unseen. In his own words, "I heard them speaking.
What happened?
We could look at the sun without difficulty. The sky became clear. I was not afraid, but I thought that there was something extraordinary. Persons around me who were seeing something extraordinary cried with fear. They were saying that the world was going to end.
What was your personal reaction?
I had the conviction that the children were not mistaken, and that we were not mistaken either. I thought that God had, on that day, caused many people to see something extraordinary." Now, I'm going to pause for just a second because something just occurred to me. You're watching this video because you love hearing miraculous stories about Our Lady's love. But what about when you're away from your phone and computer or whatever screen you're watching this on? What about when you want to get away from the internet, but you still want to learn about our Lord and Our Lady? Well, let me introduce you to Crusade Magazine. Crusade Magazine is a beautiful, fully color, fully Catholic magazine filled with stories about the saints, cutting edge and current Catholic news, prayer suggestions, and so much more. We at America Needs Fatima designed Crusade Magazine to be a way that you to be inspired, informed, and spiritually fulfilled, especially when you want to get away from your electronics. When you sign up to become one of our Child of Mary members, you automatically receive a Crusade Magazine subscription as one of your gifts. So if you want pages and pages of Catholic content at your fingertips, well, click the link in the description down below to become a Child of Mary and have Crusade Magazine delivered straight to your door. Okay, back to our story. The second witness standing close to the children was Joaquim de Silva Jorge, who had joined the great crowd on the 6-hour trek through the rain that October 13th from Leiria to the top of the mountain. At the time of his statement, he was a retired farmer of 80 years. He already was approaching middle age on that eventful day in 1917 when he pushed through the crowd to a place near the children. "I saw a dark cloud coming from the sky, and then there opened a firework of sun that was coming from the east. Suddenly, the ground was blue."
Did you experience anything else?
I was all wet, and afterwards, my clothes were quite dry.
Did you expect this miracle to happen?
No. I expected something, but I didn't know what.
Were you afraid?
I thought it was the end of the world.
What effect did it have on you?
My faith increased. I visited and still visit very often the place of the apparitions.
Do you know of anyone who did not see it?
I don't. Everyone has seen it. The compiler of the testimonials this series is based on is perhaps the only living American layman privileged to have talked with the child who predicted the miracle. For this reason, it is fitting that we close this episode with a description of what the three shepherd children actually saw in the words of Lucia herself. The children's families had come that day of the miracle to protect them, because generally it was felt that the children would suffer bodily harm, either from the soldiers before the time of the miracle, or from the crowd if the miracle did not come as predicted. But the children were not afraid. They were confident that their vision would happen, and that Our Lady would keep her promise and perform a miracle. During an interview with Lucia in 1946, the author presented a picture of the miracle of the sun, prepared by an artist. He hoped that she would be able to confirm that the picture was what she had seen, or describe in what way the picture differed from reality. He made the following notes on the back of the picture as she talked. Suddenly the vision rose from the top of the tree with light streaming from her hands. The light reflected back from the sky, much stronger than the sun. Figures in light appeared. Our Lady as she had always appeared to us. Saint Joseph holding the infant in light with Our Lady, both Saint Joseph and the infant blessing the crowd. The light changes, and suddenly Our Lady becomes Our Lady of Sorrows. Saint Joseph is replaced by our Lord, and our Lord blesses the crowd. And then the light changes again, and Our Lady becomes Our Lady of Mount Carmel. While our Lord remains, the light fades. We hear people shouting. I think that was what the people saw, had been a reflection of the brilliance of the vision, she explained. Immediately after, she had been filled with an overwhelming desire to tell all the world that war is a punishment for sins and that men must do penance and cease offending God. She remembers that a man suddenly picked her up and put her on his shoulder. She took advantage of this position to ask all who saw the miracle to pray and do penance. In this moment, Lucia was quite different from the child who, during the previous months, had always tried to run and hide from the crowds of people who pressed to see her and her cousins. After October 13, 1917, she once again became a shy, reserved child, afflicted by the publicity, saddened by the prophecy that Francesco and Jacinta would soon die and she would be left alone. That day of the interview, however, in the peace and security of a Carmelite convent, she was childlike and humble. As we bring this episode to a close, I ask that you stay tuned for next week's video, where we take a look at the testimony of an atheist who bore witness to the miracle of Fatima, and hear what he has to say about this event and how it changed everything. As always, our next episode will be on one of the secret witnesses of Fatima. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you've noticed, but we actually don't run ads on this channel. We don't want you to be bombarded with distractions while trying to learn about Our Lady. And because we don't make money from ads, we rely completely on our Child of Mary members to help us to spread the Fatima message all across YouTube. And if you want to help us and receive these spiritual gifts in return, then all you have to do is to click the link in the description box down below to become a child of Mary. Once you click that link and become a child of Mary, we will send you this beautiful metal lapel pin. You will also be given a subscription to Crusade magazine. And my favorite, you will have a daily Catholic Mass prayed in your name and for your intentions. And you will also receive this incredible ebook. So don't wait. Become a child of Mary today to receive your spiritual gifts and to help us spread devotion to Our Lady all across YouTube. Just click the link in the description to become a child of Mary. God love you.